My bilge was like a musty, old, damp basement, completely at odds with how I wanted things to be. So one day I went in and removed the second water tank and the bilge pump. With a wide open space, I scrubbed and painted. I felt better. The water tank went into storage. The bilge pump, however, was another matter. It was old and oversized and ugly, so I replaced it with a modern pump. But this was no good. The pump, a highly rated model, would not work correctly no matter how hard I wanted it to. Today I am back at it. I must either fix the pump or replace it entirely, or rely on the backup hand-operated pump, which has never failed me from the beginning. If you stare at this long enough, it starts to make sense. This chart comes from the Atwood website. It shows the height of the drain tube versus pumping ability in gallons per hour. Their models are the 500, which I could not get working, the 800, and the 1200, which I just bought. Now it all makes sense. From the bottom of my bilge to the top of my transom, the pump must push water 8 feet uphill. This is no small task because a Bristol Channel cutter is unusual, with a deep bilge set into a full keel and a high pump exit point at the top of the transom. Ordinary boats are built like a wide bathtub with a stick stuck into the bottom and a pump exit point close to the water line. For that, you'd only have to push water uphill a couple feet, so any pump will do. I've drawn a line at 8 feet. Now I see the problem. The Model 500 is below that line and tops out at 7.3 feet. This explains everything to my scientific mind. If only I had discovered the chart before I made my purchase. Oh well, let's go for the overkill. The Model 1200 looks to be an excellent choice. According to this, it will pump 480 gallons per hour up 8 feet. I believe this will solve my problem, but a test is certainly needed. Okay, let's do a static test before we install it on the boat. So, got my rig here. There's my rig. Got the tube. So my boat draft is 5 feet right about here. 4'10", and I've got 3 feet of transom. And so the exit point, the head, the rise is at 8 feet. This is an 8-foot ladder. Not really going to be quite that much, but we're gonna go 8 feet. This is 15 feet of hose. I really only need 12, so I'll overdo that a little bit also. Over on this side, here's my bilge, my small bilge, and there's the pump. And I've got here's a red for a manual switch shut on, and here's a red for a automatic shut on. So I've got the automatic rigged up, and it goes to the car battery 12 volts. So there's already going to be a problem, I see. So the pump turns on. So the pump turns on when the water level hits 50 millimeters, according to this. That's a lot. So the water's going to pump out. It's going to pump up 15 feet. If it works, if it gets that high, it'll run out the end and will drain the water out of the bilge until the water gets down to 19. So there's 50 and there's 19 marked on the ruler there. So it gets down to 19. I think it's going to shut off, and we got 8 feet of water in this column that's going to rush back into the bilge. And if that 8 feet of water brings it back up to 50, meaning that we've added 20 millimeters of water into this little bilge, the pump will shut on again, start up again. So it's going to be a cycle. It'll never shut off. So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. But actually on the boat, my bilge is far bigger than this. So hopefully when the water runs back down into the bilge on the boat, it will be less than 30 millimeters of rise, and the pump will stay shut off. Now if it doesn't, what we can do here it is, we can add a backflow valve. So this will keep the water from running back into the pump when it shuts off. So we've got 8 feet of water trapped in here, getting kind of stale and stagnant and moldy and whatever. So I want to kind of avoid that if I can. So first, let's see if it works. So let's go ahead and put in the water and see if it shuts on. It starts up at 50. So here we go. We're at 19 now. Let's do this. That's better. Oh, that's not better. Yeah, that's better. We're almost at 50. We're getting close. Right about now. Oh, yes, exactly. So I'll keep the water going, and we'll see if it can cover 8 feet of water. There it is. Hot dang. It's working. All right, now it works fine. We've got enough power. 15 feet, 8 feet. Okay, so now I'm going to shut it off and let it drain. Now I'm guessing it's not going to shut off. We're down to 19. It's down to 19. It's probably trying to shut off, but the water is coming back. So the water is stopped. Yep. So the water is trying to come back into here. And it's keeping the level just above 19. Just barely above 19. This borderline shutting off. It's almost there. So we're going to try this on the boat now. And if we have to, we'll put in the backflow. The black backflow valve, but I don't want to do that. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and mount it. Okay, got the new bilge pump installed. Got it clamped in temporary just to test it out. There it is, down at the bottom of the bilge. Got it attached to a piece of wood, suspended about 1/8 of an inch off of the bilge floor because I don't want it to be used as a load-bearing structure. So, got some water in there. Go ahead and connect it and see if it works. Here we go. Okay, it's going. It's pumping. Hopefully it'll shut off. Let's see. Okay, just saw the water come back. Pump stayed off. Well, I believe we're good to go. So I'll go ahead and bolt it in permanent. So there we go. Thanks for watching.